Last speaker, we have Evan Handed on the 10 best comedians of all time. Give a big round of applause for Mr. Evan Handed.
Hey, hi everyone. So I really love comedy, so I'm here to talk about my favorite 10 comedians of all time. It may not be your 10, but feel free to harass me afterwards if you want to have a comedian debate, we can do that. So, number 10. Now, everyone always criticised me because I always pick comedians that were during my lifetime. So, I got to say that my number 10 comedian is who, you know, no one's ever heard of because it's so old. Yeah, that's how with it I am. I appreciate all comedians. So yeah, he was born 422,436 BC. Died, I think, 33 years later, but he was a fucking funny guy, man. He was the funniest dude. He would do like, the best painting was like, have you ever noticed when like you see wall paintings on the cave of a chick, and then you see the chick in real life, she's like not as hot as the wall painting? That was like his shtick, man. He was up there. He was pretty cool. But yeah, since then I reckon number 9 is Stephen Wright. He's an American dude, Massachusetts. Postmodern one-liners, and he's also a director. Like I didn't realize, like he directed films and he wrote films, won an Oscar. But yeah, the best Stephen Wright joke is, so I was walking through a forest and there was no one else with me, and a tree fell and it didn't make a sound, and I didn't know why. Yeah, so postmodern. I like it. He loves his postmodern shit. So that's Stephen Wright. He's wearing a hat because he's bald, but that's okay. No problem with baldness. Number 8, Billy Connolly, Scottish dude. Started as a welder in Glasgow shipyards, and then just started cracking jokes as a welder, and suddenly got this amazing like stand-up career. And he swore like a fuckload, like a real fuckload. Like, you know when people swear a fuckload and you're like, they're swearing a fuckload, but no, he swore a fuckload. Like, dude, he was swearing. His favourite joke is, life's too short. Life isn't short. It's really long. It's the longest thing in your entire life. Like it goes the whole length of your life. If you tried, you couldn't find something shorter than your life. If you tried throughout your whole life to find something shorter than your whole life. That's his best joke. Jerry Seinfeld, biggest sitcom ever. Yeah, he's the observational humour king. And, you know, Larry David was behind that. And you've got Curb Your Enthusiasm, which, you know, you see a bit of Larry in there. My favourite Jerry Seinfeld joke is how he went about so there's the 2 biggest fears in the world. Number 1 fear in the world is public speaking. Number 2 is death. So if you're at a funeral, you'd rather be the person in the casket dead than the person giving the eulogy. That's my favourite Seinfeld gag. What's number 6? Anyway, Eddie Murphy, he's the dude, man. Delirious and Raw, like, they are classic pieces of stand-up comedy. I won't even do a joke from that because I can't even try to begin to imitate, like, Raw and Delirious. They're just... And he, you know, 48 Hours, Trading Places, like, he's been in these huge movies. Did you know, like, I found it to say, Eddie Murphy, he as a single asset is the second biggest asset of Universal Studios. If they lose him, they lose their second biggest, like, asset in terms of cash flow. Richard Pryor, like pioneer of stand-up comedy for black side in the US, he was the dude. He just broke down all these barriers. The funniest thing that ever happened to him is he was doing so much coke one night, he poured rum on himself and lit himself on fire, and was running down the street in California on fire with coke in his hand, and got busted by cops, and he had to explain it all. And yeah, but he always, the funniest part is I love that he made reference to it in his sets, always. Like when he was doing stand-up, he'd always be like, yeah, it's because I dunked like full-fat cookies in low-fat milk. You can't do that. You go on fire instantly. Yeah. George Carlin, he's a dude. He's a king of comedy for like 100 years. Like he was alive for a long time. He did a lot of shows. You know, Johnny Carson, he did Excess of Western Culture. His favourite, he did all these one-liners. He was like, if it's true that we're here on Earth to help others, what do the others do? And that's my favourite George Carlin joke. He's it's sad we've lost him, but he's a very smart man. Who got up in it? Louis C.K. I have a big soft spot for Louis C.K. some think he's a lot, not as low down the list. He started this whole $5 thing where he sells $5 videos online and you buy his sets direct from him, which I think is a cool idea, that you can buy artists direct, not bother with, record companies and music studios and shit like this. He goes on about how we're a very ungrateful civilization. He's like, I was on a plane the other day and there was like this, they announced there was Wi-Fi on the plane. There was some guy next to me was like, oh wow, Wi-Fi. And then later they announced during the flight that the Wi-Fi had cut out and he's like, oh damn it. And it's like, you're sitting on a chair in the sky and I'm giving you wireless access. You should be thankful. Yeah, anyway, that's his whole bit. It's very funny. Bill Bailey, UK guy. He's a surrealist. Like, he has all these really out there kind of concepts. Like, you can tell he does a lot of drugs, but that's cool. And he does this whole bit about Aldous Huxley in his famous book when he took mescaline and wrote Doors of Perception. He's like, he probably wrote Doors of Perception on mescaline, but he probably wrote My Brain is Melting 1,000 times before he got around to writing the book. But yeah. That's Bill Bailey. He's out there. And my number one stand-up comedian of all time is Bill Hicks. He is the king, and the fact that he died at fucking 32. I'm 29. I can't imagine doing all the shit he did in just 3 years more of my life and then dying. Like, it fucking blows me away. His joke, where it comes up now, I'll have to read the whole thing because I can't memorize it. It's like, today a young man on acid realized that all matter is merely energy condensed into a slow vibration, that we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. There is no such thing as death, life is only a dream, and we are the imagination of ourselves. Here's Tom with the weather. That's my favourite Bill Hicks bit. Alright, thanks very much. So, if you like comedy, Pontoon on Wednesday is comedy night and everything at 8 o'clock, yeah, all that. But thanks. Comedy questions, yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Who's your favorite female comedian?
It'd probably be between Tina Fey, Roseanne Barr, probably be up near the top. And then, Katie Griffin, maybe.
Where does Chelsea Handler stand with you?
Oh, she's not bad.
Are chicks just not funny? Like,
I don't know what the deal is with whole, because I was thinking about this, putting in like a token go into stuff, and I'm like,
A token girl.
yeah, like seriously, because it's like the whole thing with women in comedy, it's like, my theory behind it is always that, men are trying so hard with their lives to impress women, and so that's why they go to such lengths with stand-up comedy. But yeah, it's totally an interesting thing with all, like if you look at all the kind of lists, it's just, women are seen as like, I don't know, there's a lot more men doing stand-up comedy and I don't know why.
Are there more men doing nerd nights?
what's your favourite joke? Tell us a joke.
My favourite joke? Alright, I'll tell you my favourite joke. Alright, alright, here we go. You need to come up here if we do it. I'm sorry, you need to come. Come on, you need to come. Alright, ready? Okay. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
We. Sorry. What's that again? Knock, knock.
Who's there?
KGB.
KGB.
We will ask the questions. I fucked that up, dude.
You get it.
Sorry.
Sorry, I fucked that one up.
How would you like the guy at the comedy channel who all make fun of all politicians, American president, all of that?
Jon Stewart?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Jon Stewart, he's awesome. Colbert, Steve Colbert, yeah. They're awesome.
Oh wait, do you perform?
I will be performing on Wednesday, yep, if you want to come to Pontoon.
Evan, you mentioned all solo stand-up artists. What about teams or duos?
Oh, it's taking it into a whole other realm. That's a tough.
What about German?
That's a tough call. German comedians.
It's an oxymoron.
Who's your favourite German comedian? Alright. We'll talk about it after. But yeah, team's good, and theatre sports is great, so yeah. There's a lot of team possibilities we could discuss. Oh, Cambodian joke. Oh, you want like a Hun Sen political?
General's daughters.
Political joke. Well, the one from the last, one of the last comedy things I did was about the Hun Sen, you know, should have like a late night ad just on TV where it's like, you know, Hun Sen's gone mad, Hun Sen's gone mad, everything must go. Cambodia sold. River sand sold. Virgin forests out the door. He's gone crazy. With his glass eye and a dollar sign on the glass eye spinning. Like that. That's, oh yeah, if you want more of that stuff, Wednesday, 8 o'clock pontoon, feel free to come along.
Great, thank you very much, Evan Handed. Catch him this Wednesday.